Hello, thank you for joining me today. Thank you for tuning in to April 23rd through the 30th tarot reading. This is a really interesting. I believe that this is going to actually post. Video is going to post on the 23rd. And so that would mean that tomorrow, the 24th, we're going to have the new moon in Scorpio. And this new moon in Scorpio is it's going to be amazing, you guys. It's interesting too because on the same day, the moon squares Pluto in Aquarius, and Pluto is the ruling planet of Scorpio. This is literally where head meets heart, and when we have squares, that can be quite oppositional. So I think that what we're seeing when I've been doing my private reading, I've been noticing a lot of the Queen of Cups, super heart space energy, right? Super heart chakra wide open, total love, peace, harmony with the Queen of Cups. And I've also been seeing the sun a lot. And the sun is literally about pleasure and joy and happiness and childlike curiosity. And it's the joy of knowing that you always have the opportunity to choose happiness and fun and love in every moment. And that's what nurtures your life because the sun is what gives us life force energy. We also know the better we feel, the more fun we're having, the more lighthearted we are, that the better our life goes, right? Basic laws of physics there and law of attraction, and which is physics essentially. So I've been seeing those two cards quite a bit in my readings over the last few weeks for a couple of weeks for my clients. And I think that this is going to be really fantastic because it's going to be they're both fixed signs, both Aquarius and Scorpio are both fixed signs. The moon, which is what Scorpio will be in, the new moon, is always very intense of you being very clear with what it is that your intentions are. And the moon deals with the subconscious, what's underneath. Pluto also deals with what's underneath. It's death, it's rebirth. It's about letting go of which is an interesting thing because typically it's the full moon that we look at for, okay, it's purging what's not consistent with the intentions that we have set for ourselves as those have surfaced. Because the new moon is about setting those intentions. The full moon is about, okay, now that you've been working within those intentions, what needs to go, right? But we're gonna see, I think that what is happening here overall is the message of it's time to choose which is going to rule you, your head or your heart. And I promised you, your heart is going to win. And here's why is because this Aquarian energy is all about authenticity and our divine blueprint, what we're all about, what drives each and every one of us is authenticity. Okay, so there's innovation, there's creativity, there's uniqueness, all within the Aquarian sign. And yet it's a thought sign, it's a thinking sign. And it's because that is the fixed energy of you being the authority in your own life. And we're really being asked to allow that part to open up at this point. I think that we're going to see a lot of like just maybe have some emotional meltdown, maybe just have some really peaceful, beautiful heart center meditations, whatever it is for you. And there's no right way, there's no wrong way, but whatever it is for you, it's going to be a beautiful, magnificent opportunity for your heart space to open up, which is very beautiful for our ability to manifest. And I think that my guides have been saying, okay, enough. It's like I said, it's time to choose. It's time to choose if you're going to believe your own intentions, your own dream. Are you going to believe it? And when you can feel it deep inside your heart, when you can feel it deep inside your bones, when you can feel it inside your body, that this is your truth. I don't know if you've ever met a Scorpio before or spent any time with Scorpio. They literally, their emotions are their truth. And when they feel strongly about something, they will not stop until that manifests. We are each being given an opportunity to be able to feel as passionate and as intense as a Scorpio feels about the things that we had not allowed ourselves to let up and let go of. And I don't mean let go of as in this isn't working for me. What I mean here is letting go of this idea of who we had to be. Letting go, it's like opening up this cage that we've been in. Let the true self out. Let ourselves be without being ruled by something that doesn't serve us anymore, some idea, some belief, some hierarchy within our own psyche, because that's again, the mind is our own psyche. And we each had our own version of what that hierarchy is for us. Okay. In our physical world, what we choose to believe inside of our bodies. So, what has been ruling our psyche that has been keeping our heart from just opening up and expressing itself fully and completely in our own authenticity? And I think that's exactly what we need right now. Beautiful timing. I love how every energy is working off the last energy and expanding us to the next opportunity and the next energy. It's just magnificent to witness. And I think that this is literally perfect right now because this year we know is an 8 year, 2 + 2 + 4, 2024. 2 + 2 + 4 is equals 8. So in numerology, this is about personal empowerment. You being able to face your own fears, to no longer be cowering down to some idea that you have felt that you had to. Maybe that's an external force. Maybe that's somebody or something outside of you, but nothing has power over you unless you believe that it does. So here we are now at this like big open myself up, let myself out, no longer be overruled by something, by an authority, by an authority. That Aquarian energy says you're your authority. So I'm not going to be ruled by that anymore, something that is not authentically me. And like I'm saying, this is perfect time because in this 8 year, we're tapping into our ability to be courageous, to look at our fears, to no longer buy into them, to be able to choose that pleasure that the sun is bringing in, that and that love that our heart, that the Queen of Cups is bringing in, to literally be able to choose those energies and trust them over anything else. My Scorpio daughter and I, interesting enough, we have this saying that we remind each other of at the appropriate times for one another in our lives when we're each going through our things and reminding each other that if it doesn't feel good, it's not true. If it doesn't feel good, it's not true. If it doesn't feel good, it's not true, which is hard to hear in the moment. But when you get to a place of quieting yourself and not buying into an emotion that doesn't feel good, and you instead decide that you're going to move yourself along energetically, emotionally to something that does feel better. So maybe you need to cry it out. Okay. So maybe somebody hurt your feelings. Maybe you hurt your own feelings. Maybe, it could be many things. But the point is that if you're thinking about something in a way that doesn't feel good to you, it's not true. So now you move yourself into something, some idea, some thought, some distraction that feels better and feels better. And when you look back, you're going to go, I can see how that actually wasn't my truth and why I didn't feel okay about that, why I didn't feel good about that. My emotions are telling me something always. And if it feels great and it feels inspiring, don't quit. Go for it. Just like a Scorpio does, go for it. This is your time. This is your time to shine. So within this 8 year, I want to jump back to that for just a moment. Within this 8 year of this personal power and a personal authenticity, and power comes from being able to look at what we have feared, no longer buy into it, know that if it's fearful, that's not a true perspective, the way I'm thinking about it. My higher self has the true perspective. And what do I need to do really as I'm moving myself along energetically or emotionally to feel better? Recognize what is the opposite of that thing? What is the opposite of that thing that made me feel terrible? And the opposite would be something that I really, truly, actually desire. Okay. And this is not anything to do with anybody else. Remember that. It's not about if this person would come back or if this person would do that thing or if my friend hadn't said that thing or my partner would have acted a different way. My kids would have acted in a different way. My boss acted in a different way. If I wasn't stuck in this job, if I wasn't none of that external stuff. You literally, when you know your own strength, that is being able to look at something that has not felt good inside of you or even fearful and be able to say, what do I prefer? And when you know what you prefer, your heart begins to sing. Your heart begins to feel alive. You begin to feel uplifted. And by that thought, and when you pursue that thought, you're now in harmony with your higher self and you're able to listen to guidance and receive those ideas from your higher self to be able to manifest what it is that you want. And you begin to really enjoy this magnificent creation process of, I think about it. I love how that feels. I love how my desire feels. And I love that my higher self is giving me these ideas. I'm not so fixated on like just the outcome, which oh, I said this can be Scorpio energy, fixated on that. But the Scorpio is also, because it's water, is not afraid to move as needed in the pathway that they're being taken to achieve that thing or to manifest, to now be living with that manifestation, manifested version of their desires. And I've watched my daughter do this really fast. She does it so quick. So I think that this is a great opportunity for us, as in any other sign, to be, and hurrah, you Scorpios, go for it, get it. All of you Scorpios, and those of us that aren't can really be able to begin to take note of that we actually have these abilities in us. And that's why we have all the different planetary alignment, is so that we get an opportunity to see what's available for all of us and experience manifesting and exploring this world from that lens. Oh, we get to learn new skills in every new energy, and that those skills get to come with us to and to be applied in all different types of circumstances through our life. So it's this eternal, constant growth in new, learning new ways of doing things. There are some basic truths to it, but it adds this spice, it adds this flavor, it adds seasoning to our life to be able to do it just a little bit different, a little bit different, a little bit different with every planetary alignment. And I would encourage each of us to not be taking a step back and feeling defeated within the energies that we're experiencing. We may go low. Okay, you may go low, but you know that is for a brief period of time, because that isn't your true nature. That isn't your authentic self, I would say here, but your organic self, your true vibration is an uplifted one. So if you go low, let yourself be there. Know that's something that needs to be experienced this moment, right? Give yourself full permission to feel it, because you've got to feel it with complete acceptance in order for it to then move, right? It's just feeling the energy of it without going too much into the story of it, because the story that you want to go into is a story of, what do I prefer? What do I prefer? I created this. Okay. I don't know why I created this. It doesn't matter why I created it. I created it and I accept how I'm feeling. And now I know what I prefer. And if it's that, for that reason alone, that we would perpetuate things that we didn't appreciate, we didn't like, is literally for the reason of knowing what we would prefer, because knowing what you don't want is a big part of knowing what you do want. And you can keep it pretty much that simple. Take a step back, completely accept any emotion that you're having. Know that it's a brief period of time, because you have the ability to train your mind to then now focus if it's going to move down the road of a storyline, of a thought process. You want that thought process to be in tune with, what do I prefer? And pretty soon you're going to start feeling that and you're going to love it. And like I said, be like that water that allows yourself to flow ever so gracefully around and through the path of least resistance, in order to be able to experience you being the expression of source, who is now bringing something into manifest and experiencing that in your physical world. And you know that the whole reason that we are here in this 3D physical reality is to experience things in a physical, tangible way. The things that you want. That's it. Like, you discover what you want by experiencing something that you didn't want, but you're here to live what you do want, which is why my guides are saying, are you going to believe your own desires? Are you going to believe your own dreams? Are you going to believe it? Because if you believe it and you believe how good they feel, and you can let yourself feel that good, know that your higher self's got this, and you're going to be given a pathway to it. And it's going to be amazing. It's going to be amazing. Then now you're living why you're here, not doubting yourself, not feeling worried about whether or not somebody's going to be able to be what you think that they need to be. Okay. I think I'm feeling like a lot of like love energy coming through this. a lot of like heartbreak, a lot of maybe a turning point in relationships. And I think that even if it's a breakup, doesn't mean that it's necessarily a continuing breakup. It just means that maybe there's a time for a rejuvenation, a step back, and a breath within relationships. If you're feeling that this is a relationship thing, it's interesting that Scorpios do have a lot to do with relationships and romantic relationships quite a bit as well. And so I think that I'm feeling some of that heart energy of people maybe being a little bit disappointed within the romantic life. But I'm here to tell you that that if it doesn't work out for you two to be together, that something better is on its way. And always something is better is on its way. And you're given the opportunity now to see what part of that this is for you, what you want in a relationship. And when you can get a hold of that in your mind and in your heart of what that you would like your relationship to look like and make that your truth. Make that your truth now. Then that will be the case for you in a very short period of time, either with your partner and you reuniting from that place or with another partner. Okay. Or maybe you learn how to live your best life without a partner. And that's okay too. That's okay because finding out who we are and pursuing our own interests is the way that we find out who we are. And maybe you need a breath to be able to do that. Maybe you need a little bit of space in your life to be able to find out exactly what it is that you want, what it is that you're passionate about, and what it means for you to be alive right now. You didn't come here just to experience yourself within a relationship. Relationship's a bonus. But you came here really to experience a relationship mostly with yourself and with your love for life. Okay? With your love for life. So whether that's with somebody else, whether that's just with you and your higher self right now, it's all perfect. It's all perfect because everything is designed to bring us closer to what it is that we do want. But we have to know that. You have to know what it is that you want. Okay. All right. Enough. Let's do some tarot. I don't know why that was coming through. Obviously, somebody needed to hear that. So I appreciate that landed where it needed to. But let's do some tarot and pull some cards here. So I am pulling. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. All right. So the first card that came up was literally this is a part of relationships, right? Either this is a twin flame, this is a soul. What is that? My soul partner. I'm not saying that. You know what I'm talking about. But when it comes to a loving relationship, romantic relationship, my soul partner, I can't. For some reason I can't quite get that. Anyway, but it also is a relationship between you and your higher self. This is also a very healing card. So this card reminds me often. So it's the inspiration that you receive when you resonate with your higher self. It also reminds me of how often when we're in our if we're soulmate, the word. All right, guys. When we're in our soulmate relationship, we often trigger each other so that we become the highest versions of ourselves. And that is what is going on here. That's what was wanting to come true. This is a healing. This is a healing emblem right here. Okay. This means that you're in a relationship that may be triggering you. Okay. So if it's a relationship with your higher self, that would look like you having a thought that's in opposition to what your higher self knows to be true. So it doesn't feel good. Okay. And then you decide that you're going to, like I just shared before, you're going to come back to what does feel good, what you prefer. And you begin a healing process through that. Okay. And healing this relationship with your higher self in a way that says even deeper how much you can trust you and the divine you, the human you and the divine you, the source you, the spirit you that's always got your back. But when we're in a romantic relationship and we're triggering one another within that, it is always in order to bring these things up to the surface so that we can look at who we are. It's all about who we are being based on our feelings for us to be able to notice how we feel, to be able to allow ourselves the grace to feel completely through it and thank the relationship for being available to show us this. Because if you're being triggered by abandonment or by lack of love or attention, or maybe it's jealousy, these kind of things, if these kind of things are coming up for you, they're coming up to be cleared, and they can be cleared like everything else. Okay. They can be cleared in a way that you look at the emotion. You don't buy into the story about why you're feeling that way if it feels awful. You let yourself feel it completely by saying that you set this up. Like I set this up for me. Okay. And when I go into total and complete acceptance for how I feel without blaming somebody else, when I go into total acceptance for blame, oh, when I go into total acceptance for how I feel, then it will dissolve. That emotion will dissipate through my body. It will move. It won't be lodged in there anymore. And it will, if it does come back at a later point, it will be significantly smaller. So then you do the same thing. You don't buy into the story about why you feel that way. You just feel it. You completely accept that you feel it. Okay. And then you watch it in your body. And then you literally watch it move out of your body, and you're going to start thinking about something that feels better. Okay. You'll just see all of a sudden not even thinking about that thing that was upsetting anymore. And then it'll get smaller. Okay. And then when you're triggered again, if it comes back again, it will be even smaller. And so by this way, you literally are clearing out all of those feelings of abandonment or jealousy or lack of love, whatever it is, whatever those things are. So when you no longer have that frequency or that wound activated inside your body, what in fact does then activate is the opposite of that, your preference, which is total and complete love and trust and this partnership of being able to hear each other and support one another. It's very beautiful, harmonious, interdependent, because each person is being able to be responsible for their own emotion and not making the other responsible for how they feel or the pursuit of happiness in life. Okay. What's available to them. So when you do this, when you now have dissipated the feelings that are awful and uncomfortable and in your body, and you now activate the positive, you're going to attract, either you and your partner come back and you're both in this higher state. Okay. The relationship evolved, or you evolve to a point that you are now drawing in or attracting a partner that is equally as evolved as you. And your job is not to say, my partner's not evolved, is not evolving like I am. What do I do? It's none of your business how your partner is evolving or not. What's your business is how you are evolving. What's going on inside of me? And can I manage my own emotions by simply being aware of them and not aware of the story of why I am, but rather being aware of a story that is the positive version, what I prefer. Okay. I would like to also say that preference needs to be a very general preference, not I want this person to come back to me. I would feel better if this person would do what I said or do what that's not what we're talking about here. What we're talking about is I would prefer to have a relationship that is com- that the other person is as committed as I am. I prefer to have a relationship that I feel safe in, that I feel loved in, that I feel appreciated in, that I feel heard in, that I feel like an equal partner in. Just very general. What would you prefer that relationship to look like? And when you're able to identify those things of what you would prefer, and you let that be your truth, again, that Scorpio energy of this is my truth. I feel it. I know it. I know it is my truth. And that doesn't have to be just relationships, okay? That can be with your physical reality as well. If you are seeing that you would like something different in your physical reality, you just allow yourself to feel the emotions of not having that thing. Notice that is a sense of lack. And that if you keep perpetuating that sense of lack, that you will continue to always have lack in that area. So what would you prefer? And very general, what would I prefer? I would prefer more financial stability. I would prefer a more beautiful home environment. I would prefer, well, whatever the thing is that you would prefer. And maybe it's health, whatever it is. But very general, go into what you prefer. Okay. So I think that what's going on here is that as we're able to allow ourselves the space and time to be able to hone in on what our heart's real desire is and say goodbye to whatever isn't an idea in our mind that's saying that we don't actually have it. Our heart is going to take us down a journey and it will bring us into a place that we can trust ourselves, our higher selves, in a deeper and more significant way, because that is a really big part of being able to, again, manifest the things that you desire, because your higher self knows what you desire, knows what you desire. Your higher self knows even better than you do what it is that you desire. So when we learn how to do that co-creation, this dance back and forth between knowing what I don't want, moving towards what I do want, feeling harmonious with my higher self. Again, this is how we get to experience the beauty of life in the way that we were always meant to. We were never meant to suffer and doubt ourselves so immensely, so significantly, that we have let ourselves be in such places of despair and lack and without. And in this relationship, this new moon holds a lot of promise in it. Your heart is going to open up and you are going to be able to trust yourself. I still have not finished. I keep going down this path. The 8, did I finish it and say that the 8-year, the 2 plus 2 plus 4 in the 8-year is that personal empowerment that brings forth abundance? Okay, because 8 is also about abundance and whatever that abundance looks like for you. And your higher self knows it. Your higher self knows it. Okay, so that was the first card that I pulled up. And now we're going to this next one where it is a material world. I think that what this is saying here, specific for this spread, is that we have this, we're, hmm, okay. When we open our hearts up, as your heart is going to open wide up with this emotional journey that's going to happen with this new moon, we are opening ourselves up to listen to that guidance and to be able to receive this kindness. Because if you look at that person there, they're being so kind to a place that had been without need and want. Okay. So this person is being so very kind to places or people, in this case, that needed and want. Okay. So what this is saying is that you are going to be able to open yourself up to receive light or happiness or a higher emotion in a higher perspective. Open yourself up to be able to receive in a deeper way a knowledge about the stability that's available for you to expand. Now, I love that this is coming up because one of the things that I had seen as I'm communicating with source and my guides and being shown different things over the last few days, in the recent days, one of the things that they were talking about, my guides were talking about, is that if you actually focus on the things that you want, because you're here to manifest what you want, what you desire, what's important to you, your life, right? So if you focus upon your want, your need are inherently encompassed in that, meaning that your needs are inherently taken care of, because of course you want things that fulfill your need and more, right? So my higher self, and what this is saying is allow yourself to feel how important it is that you trust your want and you pursue your want and you ask source to help you with things that you want. Okay. And then you're going to be able to receive all that you want and need through that. Okay. I hope that made sense. Okay. So now we have here, I love this card. I love this 10 of swords because this is about everything that you've been thinking about that was like hurting you, the backstabbing, the backbiting, the things that weren't didn't feel good. And this could be people, but still, it's your thoughts that are helping to bring those people into your life, right? So it doesn't matter. It's not about the people. This is about the thoughts that you have been thinking that have been hurting you and the ways that you have been seeing your life and the struggles that you have been bearing within yourself, that it is that the end of that cycle. That cycle is now ending where of the self-torturing thoughts. There we go. The self-torturing thought. The things that have been bringing us down with the way that we have been thinking, that's ending. That's beautiful. And now we have the temperance card, because once we can let go of those thoughts that aren't serving us, overthinking about things that are hurting us, and trust me, it is the way that you're thinking is what is hurting you always. Okay. Because only your thoughts can produce your emotions. Okay. So now we have the temperance card. And now this is another card, a card with the heart right there at the center, another healing card, which is now bringing the water. This is the water sign, right? This is a water sign that is talking about the information and fulfillment of the physical life and the spiritual life working hand in hand together. Okay. So often this temperance card can be viewed as patience, but I don't believe it is. I believe that it's the moment that you step back, tune into what you desire, and listen to how your desires are actually fueling source to bring you energy, to now bring that energy through you for that manifestation to happen through you, for the creative process. So it's about being able to take a step back, know what your heart's desire is, allow yourself to be inspired, and then that inspiration moves through you. Okay. So we're in a really significant, beautiful week in human history right now. We've known for a while that this is a bridge generation, or this time space is a bridge. Okay. And so there are some people that are completely living 100% all of their dreams and heart desires. And there are people that are in the complete opposite of that. And we're being able to experience now this realization of how much the co-creation between our human self and our spirit self comes into play. Okay. Non-physical reality beginning to play a little bit more. We're being able to see how much non-physical reality has been able to play with us in our physical reality, how much autonomy or how much ability we have to shift and change our own lives. We're not set on one trajectory for the rest of our lives. We're able to experience more things in one lifetime than we had been before. So we're watching this expansion happen and this rise in consciousness. And this rise in consciousness literally tells us that you have the ability to tap into the intelligence of the universe in any moment in order to receive direction and guidance and support and new life force energy through you as you relax and calm, right? And allow yourself to receive that information to consistently inspire your life to expand and help you to be 100% yourself, 100% the authentic version of you in all of your uniqueness, all of your beauty, and not worry about other people so much in the fact that they have their own things that they're here to create and be inspired to do in their own life. This lets everybody else off the hook to be responsible for us and us responsible for them. And let everybody just enjoy the journey of life itself. And that means all of the abundance and all of the prosperity and all of the love, they're yours to have and to hold and to experience and have the pleasure of. And we know that now. We know that now. This has this message about law of attraction and the secret, and you're the one who's creating your own reality. This has been going on for decades now. It's now pretty much common understanding that we each have the ability to manifest the life that we want. And again, I go back to full circle here to what my guide said in the beginning. It's time for you to believe in your dreams and enjoy believing in them. Time. Okay. Because this is what you're here for, to allow life force energy to express through you in the things that you want. So I hope that you're enjoying your creation. I hope that you experience a beautiful heart centered, a heart opening, a beautiful, maybe meditation or cry fest, whatever it is. It's gonna be beautiful. And you're gonna open yourself wide open to be able to feel more magnificently yourself and to know more clearly what it is that you want and go for it. Don't be shy. Your cage is wide open. Go for it. Source loves you so very much. Your higher self is here for you to guide you in every moment.